Good morning, beautiful. So, this morning is the end of my third day of fasting. I fasted all day yesterday. I am getting ready to have some breakfast now. It's around 10 o'clock, so I'm around a 40-hour fasting time. I have a few notes. Mostly, I am feeling particularly hungry around 5 p.m. That's my normal dinner time, so that's to be expected. A little extra water, and I'm fine. I was a little drowsy last night and this morning. I think a lot of that's more allergies than it is the fasting. I haven't been getting a little extra sleep in the morning that I really wanted. Allergies had me itchy and I couldn't sleep well last night, which is normally not a big problem for me. I did take a Benadryl and finally get on to sleep, and it wasn't a problem. I have a couple of other changes I made. I loaded my Fitness Pal back onto my phone. That is the food app I've tried previously that worked pretty well and very user friendly. I have been using the Lose It app, which is one that another faster was using that I'm like, I don't know that one, let me try it. Inputting the food is pretty much the same. There's no real big differences there, but my Fitness Pal free version on both is the one that will give me more information on my nutrition, not just calories. I mean, it counts sugars and tries to keep you under those kind of numbers too, whereas the Lucid app doesn't give you that with the free version. So I'm moving back over to my Fitness Pal. I actually took the time and took all those first 4 or 5 days worth of food and have moved it back over into my Fitness Pal so that it has the complete picture from the start of my alternate day fasting lifestyle. I also added another app onto my phone called Pacer, and that's a pedometer. I've used other pedometers, but I found out that Pacer communicates directly to my Fitness Pal, so it can input my steps for me the same that my walk does after I exercise in the mornings that way. So eventually I plan to get a Fitbit. It's just a matter of picking the one that's going to work for me. That's not $400. These things are so expensive, and I don't need a fancy one. So we'll just see how that goes. So I have ordered some sea salt to be delivered. It should be here in the next day or so. And the things I've read about, because I am water fasting so regularly, one of the things you want to make sure is that you're not losing too many of your minerals, so that you're not cramping up when you're working out or after you're working out. I should also likely be getting some cream of tartar soon. Apparently that helps replace a lot of essential minerals too without taking you out of the fast. So I'll be trying between a half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon per gallon of water. I haven't tried it before that way, so that's really just going to be a matter of how salty does it taste, because I'm going to be putting it in a gallon, and that's my gallon of water for the day. And I'll do a full teaspoon if it's palatable. Otherwise, I'll just dilute it back down to half a teaspoon and make it'll be better than nothing. I have also added warm water drinking into. I've read about that before. I've heard about it, that it's just better for your whole system to drink warm water instead of cool. It helps your body digest more thoroughly, and just apparently a lot of systemic changes in your body that process better off warm water. So, but I've always enjoyed cool water, at least tap, room temperature or cold, depending on the season. In the summer, of course, I'm drinking way more ice water. But so far, it hasn't been too bad. Mostly just the rigmarole of prepping some hot water is the slowdown. And even that, you can get used to. So yesterday, for the most part, I was drinking warm water throughout the entire day. If I'm in a position where I can have my water with me, but it's not so easy to get hot, I mean, I'm just going to drink tap, room temperature anyway, so it'll be fine. But not so much cold drinks, not so much iciness, which just apparently is not great for your system. On the water subject, I have noticed urinating more frequently, even without the additional water initially. I noticed wow, I'm kind of urgent. And apparently, there is a chemical process in your body that, as it breaks down fat, more water in your body is a byproduct of the breakdown of the fat. So you can expect to be going to the bathroom much more frequently, regardless of the additional water you're drinking. So just FYI on that one, because that one was new information for me. So I'm going to let you go. I'll follow up at the end of this video with a summary of my first week tomorrow. I'll weigh in. It won't be a habit to weigh in weekly, but this very first week, I just wanted to get a number, a guideline, and I'll be taking full body pictures weekly as much as possible just to keep track of that, because the visuals and how my clothes fit mean a lot more than weight really does. I mean, we all know muscle weighs more than fat. I have been working out quite actively for the last year. I've actually lost in the last 6 years uh, like 20 pounds. And I knew I had trimmed and toned and definitely gained muscle tone. I'd noticed my waist slimmer. I'd noticed some differences, but I still got quite a significant tummy and midriff. And so it's hard for me to say, oh, I've lost weight, because I'm not losing it in the places that do bother me. Not much of it bothers me, but you know, if you're bending down in a pair of tight jeans and you can't breathe, that's not awesome. If your knees hurt and your feet hurt, they hurt more if you're heavier than if you weigh less. Those are the things that bother me. So I am going to do the weigh-in, but from this point on, it'll just be monthly, at the 4-week mark, at the 8-week mark, at the 12-week mark. As long as I can stick to this, every 4 weeks I'll try to log and track my progress that way. So I have taken my 1-week photos now. That I'm in a fasting day again, so my weigh-in this morning was after a food day, so I feel like it was a more accurate number anyway. Today will be fasting day number 4, so out of my first weeks, as I started on a fed day, I am looking at 3 fasting days out of that week and more than 5 pounds lost. So that's of course just my system getting a good jump start. I have also learned there are certain foods that I shouldn't break my fast with. When your stomach is that empty, your body's not digesting it well, let alone physical side effects like upset tummies, or it causing more blood sugar spikes than you really want to have. I do believe that I'll be trying to break my fast in the future with more proteins. That's definitely, even if it's just a very small meal, just enough to start your stomach off after having 40 hours of no food. I also have included a small clip where you can hear how my knees sound like somebody's twisting celery. It's not great. So hopefully this weight loss will help that situation a lot. Some, any, I'll take anything. And I don't let them stop me from doing what I need to do. I also did get my walk this morning, took Gizmo on a longer walk, so I have had over 4 miles of walk this morning. And then I came back and did 30 minutes of yoga sun salute, which I've only recently started doing. It's a good workout for me. It's intermediate yoga, and it's more than I've been able to do before. It's more cardio. It gets my breathing going. It's definitely moves my blood. So, yeah, that's fun. I'll include a small clip. I mostly videoed it this time because I want to see how close I am to keeping form and getting into the poses. Am I getting into the poses right? And sometimes you just need to see it to be able to know if you're as far into it as you hope you are. Don't be afraid to take pictures of yourself, you know. There are so many big girls and big people who talk about their weight loss, but they're hard pressed to come up with pictures of themselves because they were ashamed of being big and embarrassed to be big and self-conscious of being big. That's not a problem for me. You know, I like myself. I have a fair amount of self-confidence. I'm cute. It's cool. 2012 is when I first started logging on MyFitnessPal, and it still had my initial information, and I had logged myself at 222 pounds and change. So I've lost probably about 18 pounds in the last few years just getting out of the desk job. And in the last year, I've made a lot more strides to toning and trimming beyond that. This week, I am officially under 200 pounds now. When I hit my mid 30s, I started struggling more, and then I got that desk job, and it was over. It's nice to be back closer to the number I appreciated then. I mean, I did appreciate it. I've missed it. I've wanted it back. 197. That's all I wanted at that point. My current goal is reaching for maybe 175 or so, but I haven't made too many specific goals beyond that. I'll reevaluate periodically, and if everything's going good, I might step up the goal again. But I'm not trying to become tiny unless my body just says I'm ready for that. This works for us, and I'm ready. It's like that Chinese proverb says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree, today. You have to start. You just have to start doing what you can do now. And if it works, it works. But it'll never start working if you don't just jump in there and go. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you with an update in a week or so.